Hey guys, welcome to the Ace of Plays channel. Today, finally doing the Q&A that I announced on Thursday, yes? Thank you guys so much for all the cool questions. I was kind of scared that I wasn't going to get that many questions, but there's a good bit of them, and they're all pretty good. And I've been looking forward to this all weekend, and now it's finally happening. So before we begin, I just want to say that in case you don't want to watch the entire thing, or, you have to stop in the middle and, pick it back up later, I will pin a comment to the top of the comment section and write up all the questions with time codes. So, if you don't want to watch this entire thing, because I do think it's going to be kind of long, you can just go down there, see if there are any questions you're actually curious about, just click the time code, and yeah, you don't have to watch everything, just things you want to watch. That's the beauty of watching videos. Excuse me. So yeah, a lot of good questions. This video might be a little bit long, so I'm just gonna jump into it, and it's gonna be a really good time. Hope you enjoy it. So the first bunch of questions comes from Calm Noise, who is of course an old fan of the channel. Where are you from? Is the first question. I am from Norway, a city called Stavanger. I think it's like the 4th largest city, I think. It's on the west coast. Whoa. Yeah, that's where I'm from. How old are you? I am 23. My birthday was in November. What do you do for a living? I'm a student. I don't have a proper job. I have a small part-time job, just a couple of hours every week. A friend of mine and I, we go clean the toilets in the offices at his grandpa's business. So it's not a lot, but it's a little bit of extra pocket money. Otherwise, I live off of student loans, and my wife. She works full-time at a kindergarten, so we have money. But I'm not contributing all that much. That's why we gotta get this YouTube thing to work so I can make some money. Jesus Christ. What is your best dish? We want to see a picture. I do not have a picture of it, because I don't randomly carry pictures of my best dish. And I haven't made it since I got this question. But it's basically scalloped potatoes. With some minced meat, with taco spicing, and cheese. That's probably the most delicious thing that I make, that I cook, and eat. Probably. When did you start playing Gwent? I started playing Gwent at the very end of closed beta. I don't remember when that was. And I've tried looking it up, but I can't really find any specific date when closed beta ended, so I can't really know for sure. But it was in the early months of 2017. It was right after I met my wife. Yeah, I got in just at the end of closed beta. Whenever that was. Like maybe a week or two before it ended. Lord Bloodraven asks, what are your top 5 cards? So I have them written down, because I wanted to make sure that I had good answers. So in no particular order, just these are probably the 5 cards I enjoy the most in the game. Regis, of course, the not higher vampire, just the one that deals 1 damage to everything and then repeats. I think that card is really cool, and the decks that you build around him is just really fun. Probably some of the most fun decks in the game right now. Hemdall, of course. He's kind of fallen off the radar. I guess he was never really on the radar, except for my radar. But I love Hemdall. Operator is one of the coolest cards in the game. And he has basically the same ability now that he had in open beta. And, even back then, it was probably one of my favorite cards, because it's such a cool ability. It's like, you get an extra copy of one of your important bronzes, but, you give your opponent a copy of it as well. Like, what's the payoff here? And I think it's really cool. Karen Thier, the monster guy who spawns a 1 strength copy of a unit in your hand. I think that card is really cool, and I can't wait to see what other combos we get to do with him. And one new card from the expansion that has been revealed, Roderick of Duntun, or Duntun, the new gold spy that we're getting. I mean, you guys know I love Nilfgaard spies, and that card, not only is it a good spy for us now, it's also very much a callback to one of the spies from open beta, when Nilfgaard Spies was probably the most fun, coolest, consistent deck in the game. It was just the epitome of Gwent was Nilfgaard Spies, and just, you know, everybody agreed on this. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I love that we get that effect back. It's actually a little bit better, because, you know, it used to be only bronzes, now it's only golds. Really good card for Nilfgaard Spies. Nuttobotter asks, I'm rank 4 and on a big losing streak. How can I take the next step? Honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, you know, it depends. Like, if you're losing because of, you know, if it's a lot of the same decks that you're losing to, then you just got to, you know, prepare yourself for those decks. And like, if you're playing, homebrew decks, first of all, congrats on getting to rank 4 with homebrew decks. That means that your decks are actually pretty good. But you might have to look into some established point slammy meta decks. When I got to rank 1, it was just because I played, you know, the dumb decks. So that's really all I can say. I mean, keep playing, keep watching videos of other people playing, not just me. Like, you know, most of why I can even play the game is because I watched other people. It's not as much experience from playing myself, although of course I have that as well. Thank you very much. But yeah, just take in the game in as many ways as you can. Play yourself, watch other people. You know, just theory craft with your friends. Maybe come up with some cool combos and ideas that can work. I really want to support you. I prefer the Twitch subscription, but since you don't stream, you must find another way. I have a Patreon now. I'm just gonna leave it at that. There's a video about it, which will probably appear on the card here. I have a Patreon now. It's not fully fleshed out, but, you know, I'm working on it. Do you play any other games? Why, of course I do. At the time, like right now, there's not really any game that I'm really into, besides Gwent. But I like to sit down and play Binding of Isaac. I think that game is really fun. And next to, like, after Gwent, that's probably the game I've played the most in my life. So, yeah. I also play. I got Horizon Zero Dawn not too long ago, and I really love that game. It's just I haven't played it in a while. Just fell off. But yeah, I love role playing games, you know, RPGs. I like you know, those randomly generated, like Binding of Isaac. Like what's that called? It's a genre of its own. Like I don't know. Randomly generated dungeons and items. Just games that are fairly simple but have a lot of replay value. Let's continue. Have you a cat? No. And if I were to have a pet, it would be a dog. Have you ever been to Austria? I have not. And since I'm not a big fan of traveling, I may never. Sadly. Plasak Zimniak. I'm sorry. Asks Yennefer or Triss. Now, I don't actually have an opinion on this because I have not played enough Witcher to even come close to making up my mind about this. Yennefer's hotter, Triss is cuter. Yennefer has the best Gwent cards, in my opinion. So I guess Yennefer. But, you know, I'll get back to you on that one after I've actually played a little bit more Witcher. Favorite games? Gwent, Binding of Isaac. Spider-Man for the PS4 is one of the best games I've played in a long time. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Holy shit, what a good game. God of War. I actually have a huge God of War poster here. I can probably show it. It's gonna be kind of funky getting the webcam back in place, but yeah, God of War. And then my wife has Breath of the Wild. You know, I had Breath of the Wild first on Wii U, and now we have it on Switch. It's technically my copy, because I got it for Christmas. I've never finished it. She's finished it twice. She really loves that game, and you know, I do too. It's just, I've been preoccupied. Used to really be into Assassin's Creed, but I have not played like the last 4 games in the series. Just, I don't know. The webcam looks fine. Yeah. The Doctor's Hoovian asks, what is your favorite breed of dog? I don't really have a specific breed as a favorite, but I can say that I like big dogs. If I were to have a dog, I would prefer to have like a properly big dog, like the one in Marley and Me, for example, like that size. And that's a beautiful dog. And we have a couple of dogs in the neighborhood here who are pretty big, you know, all black. Really beautiful dogs. I would like a big dog. That's the breed I prefer. Gone with the Wind asks, do you have any pets? No. As a child, we had a dog, a little Shih Tzu, and I had a goldfish. Currently no pets. My wife is allergic to fur, so if we were to get a pet, it would have to be one of those expensive, allergy-friendly ones. And also, you know, currently, like, we're moving a lot from apartments to apartments, so it's not easy to do that with pets. So it's gonna have to wait until we get like a house. But I would love to have a dog, like I mentioned. Her Bray is now online. Should I maybe have closed GOG? No. Colin de Brulay asks, if you could be one Gwent card besides Roach, because we all know everybody wants to be Roach, which one would you be and why? I would be Heimdall, because he is such a badass. His golden armor, his huge sword, his dead chicken. Best card. And you know, he's got a cool ability, like all my warrior friends could be doing all the work, doing all the damage, now we'll just get boosted by it. It's pretty chill ability, bruh. Laurent Peruche Joubert. You guys have the best names. Do you consider yourself a Witcher fan or a CCG fan, or both? And what is the first game that made you say it's 6 AM already? When I started playing Gwent, I had never touched a Witcher game, so I'm a CCG fan. You know, I've played Magic, Elder Scrolls Legends, Pokemon trading card game. I'm a big fan of card games, and that's how I got into Gwent. Of course, after Gwent, I have definitely gotten into the Witcher universe. You know, through Gwent, through a little bit of playing The Witcher, and also I don't know where it is now. Well, I'm not sure where it is, but I have like the Witcher tabletop role-playing game, like it's D&D, but it's the Witcher universe. I have that book, that manual, so I'm really into the Witcher universe now. But mainly a CCG fan. And here's Colin back with a couple more questions. How's the forklift thingy going? For those who don't know, I recently took a forklift class, so I'm now certified to operate, you know, some classes of forklifts. It's going okay. Nothing has come of it yet, but I have started applying for jobs, so we're getting there. And he also asks, would you ever coach new Gwent players? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't know if I'm good enough at doing that. Like, I'm not an expert Gwent player. I'm not a pro player. So I don't know if I should be coaching new Gwent players, but I wouldn't be opposed to it in the future. Talakarem asks, serious question, ass or tits? I mean, obviously both, but if I had to choose one, it would be ass. This is the best question of the entire video, I'm just saying. Speaking of best question, here's one of the ones I actually really like. Zeron. Zeron? What inspired you to make videos? Well, when Gwent Homecoming released, we lost and had lost recently a lot of good content creators. All my favorites were gone, and you know, more and more people were leaving the game. Not just creators, but you know, players. And I just felt like, okay, we need, you know, someone who, you know, can just be like, you know, a champion for the game. Like, I don't consider myself as champion or anything, but just someone who enjoys the game the way it is now, who can, you know, make, you know, good videos and just get people hyped, help people get into it. And I wanted to do YouTube for quite a few years now. I've tried a couple of times in the past, unsuccessfully. And I do love making videos. And also, you know, I felt like I was decent at it, and I could get really good. So I started doing it because I love Gwent, and I wanted to help the game, you know, get where it's meant to be. And I feel like I've done a decent job, because I've had people tell me that, you know, I've helped them in terms of playing Gwent, and in terms of, you know, people are saying that I'm one of their favorite content creators. So I really do feel like I've done a good job. And you know, now like Gwent is in such a fantastic state. Like, the game doesn't need me at all. So now really my main inspiration is you guys. The fact that so many people actually want to watch me and interact with me, talk about Gwent, it's such an amazing experience. So now you guys inspire me. But originally, it was just a love for Gwent and a desire to help the game in any way I could. Frank Sandoval. How often do people compare you with the guy from the Hangover movies? You mean, you know, Zach Galifianakis' character, Alan? His name is Alan, right? I think so. I just watched Hangover like a couple of weeks ago. It's happened once. It was right after I revealed my face to you guys. It was probably on the face reveal video that someone, you know, compared me with him. You know, but that was when my hair was long and my beard was kind of bushy. I don't really think I look like him now. But it has happened once. Do you have any mental disorders? I asked because in one video you uploaded, I think you talked a little bit about it. I do. Now, I don't advocate self-diagnosing, and I know that I have a tendency of doing that. But I have been seeing a psychologist, and you know, she seems to be on board with the idea that I have social anxiety, misophonia, which is a rare brain disorder where the part of the brain that, you know, picks up noises, sounds, is wrongfully connected to the part of the brain in charge of, you know, like strong negative emotions. I know this sounds weird, but like that's just the technical stuff. You know, what it actually does do is that there are certain noises, different from everyone, like from person to person. Like the trigger noises are different. You know, for me it can be coughing, you know, clearing throats, sniveling, swallowing, you know, slurping. It's an increasing amount of noises, and apparently it gets worse the older you get, so yay. But when I hear these noises, it can go one of two ways. Either I get really angry, like I lose control, and like suddenly, if I suddenly hear one of those noises, like there have been cases where I've just lost control and just like slammed into the wall or slammed into a table, because it's such intense rage. And I know you guys, you know, think of me as this super calm person, and normally I am. It's just sometimes when I hear these noises, I go bananas. That's one way. The other way is panic attack. Like, I can actually panic and, you know, just want to curl up, put earplugs in my ears, and cry myself to sleep at these noises. So it is horrible, and it affects me every day. And that, combined with the anxiety, which I've had for as long as I can remember, you know, that has turned into depression. You know, I've been depressed for years. Dex Morgan is now playing. But yeah, those are the things that my psychologist is on board with. So it's not just self-diagnosing. So I'm not going to go further than that. That's what I have. And it sucks. Peter Kiss. Can you give me some beard growing tips? I cannot, because I have no idea how to do that. For me, it just happens. I do nothing. I've never done anything. Like, this is just natural growth on my hair. Obviously, it's trimmed down now, but this is just how it is. I'm sorry. And I know nothing about growing beards. I just do it. So I guess that's my tip. Just do it. That boy Nate asks, are you planning on playing other games in the near future? I assume you mean on the channel, because I play other games already in my life. In my life, because this is not my life at all. I would like to. While I do want to keep the primary focus on Gwent, because, you know, I really love making these Gwent videos. Like, they feel different than just like Let's Plays, gameplay videos. Like, they feel like they have more of a purpose. And obviously, you know, all that I have, my 2,000 subs, is built on Gwent. And I'm not gonna, you know, switch it up completely and disappoint a bunch of you guys. But, like, just as a small extra, I would like to try playing some other games. Like I mentioned, I have The Witcher 3 for PlayStation 4. I played a few hours of it, but I've forgotten so much of it that I'm just going to start a new game anyway. So it would be fun to maybe do that on the channel, because, you know, obviously a lot of people who love Gwent come from loving The Witcher. So I'm sure a lot of people would be on board with that. Let me know what you think of that, because I would like to do that. It's a bit more chill, more relaxed, just, you know, just playing The Witcher. Having a sip. Where do you live? I already answered that. Norway. Stavanger. Here we go. Zan Sers. Or Cares. I don't know how English works. Your beard looks fabulous. What products do you use and how do you make it look so great? Again, I do nothing. No products, nothing. I have beard oil and beard balm, but I don't use them. And I mean, apparently you guys think I look great without it, so I don't have to use it. So honestly, I have no tips for you guys. I do not know how to grow a beard or have a nice beard. I just have it. You know, you can hate me all you want, but I just have it. Who the fuck is that guy? Where the hell is your beard gone? Most of it went into a trash bag. Some of it went down the drain. Laughing my ass off. More serious question. Are you always as calm and relaxed as you seem in your videos? Is it something that you worked on or are working on, or have you always been a calm guy? I have always been calm. Like, even as a young child, a toddler, you know, my mom has told me I was always very relaxed. Well, not relaxed, that's the wrong word. You know, but calm. You know, always like quiet, just doing my own thing, never making any trouble. So yeah, I've always been calm. Like I mentioned before, I do have, you know, some rage and some panic, you know, every now and then. But my actual self is this calm. This is how I am. And you know, I don't know what it is. I think I'm just made this way, but also, you know, with my anxiety, like, I've never been the type of person who, you know, does anything, right? Like, whenever I'm in a room with people, Like, I don't speak up, I don't do things. So most of my life has always been just, sitting, quietly and just, yeah, that's cool, yeah. How are you doing? Yeah. And I think that's just become part of who I am. And to be fair, I enjoy it. I like being calm, because then I know I'm not annoying to a bunch of people. Because people who aren't calm are often annoying. Great question. Thank you so much. The Karamrod24 asks, what are some of your favorite movies? Excellent question. The best movie of all time, The Lion King, obviously. And I'm a big fan of the Marvel movies. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, so Spider-Man Homecoming was a fantastic movie. And Avengers Infinity War was brilliant. Looking forward to Endgame. Let's see. One more outside of that. Oh yeah. Like I don't know if it's like one of my top 3 or top 5 or whatever. But it's one that I just came up with, and that's Limitless with Bradley Cooper. That is a really cool movie. If you have not seen it, check it out. It's a really badass film. Really cool concept. They also made like a TV show about it later, which apparently is also fairly solid. It's not with Bradley Cooper, but I think he makes an appearance. That's a great movie. Limitless. Ave Cesare asks, what other online card games have you played, and why did you choose to stream or make YouTube videos for Gwent rather than Hearthstone or any other title? I think I mentioned this. I played Magic the Gathering, Magic Arena, which is the online card game version, the Pokemon trading card game online card game, and Elder Scrolls Legends. Those are the 3 that I've played besides Gwent. Never tried Hearthstone, because whenever I look at it, I feel like I have a tumor growing, like a cancerous tumor or something. I think the visuals of that game are really unappealing to me. Like, the gameplay may be fine. It's probably very similar to other games that I like, but the look of the game is so disgusting to me. Like if you like it, it's fine. Like, to each their own, but to me, it looks gross. And why did I choose to, make content for Gwent? Well, honestly, like, these are the card games that I've played. But they're really cool, really fun. They have a lot of good things going for them. The main thing they have that Gwent struggles with right now is they have a lot more cards and a lot more fleshed out archetypes, which is definitely a huge bonus in their favor. But I've always lost interest in these games after like just a few months at best, because like while they have a lot of cool cards, cool abilities, like the actual gameplay is just not as captivating to me. So whereas Gwent has a very limited card pool, especially now before the expansion, like just the gameplay mechanics of the 3 rounds and the passing, and not having a mana system but being able to play whatever you want. Sequencing matters. It's not laid out for you in terms of actual numbers like mana cost. It's just like, okay, you have 10 cards, what do you play first? Like, just the gameplay of Gwent is so brilliant that's why I've been able to stick with the game for so long, and I now want to make videos for it because I just think it's so great. And with the expansion and future expansions, we're gonna get more cards, new abilities, and it's just the Gwent is going to be the best card game. If they keep going the way they're going now, Gwent will be the best online card game. Like, no joke. No bias. No personal bias. So yeah, that is that. Kismet8010 asks, how have you avoided cardboard crack? And for those who don't know, I did look it up. It is basically, you keep buying packs of cards because, you get kind of addicted, like crack, like a drug. And I don't know why you think I've avoided that, because I have not. When I played Magic a few years ago, I spent hundreds of dollars that I shouldn't have on, you know, magic card packs. You know, I haven't played Magic since, really. And in Gwent, you know, I also spent hundreds of dollars. Of course, I'm putting that to a little bit better use. Luckily. Oh god, the nose itches back. Why? But yeah, I have not avoided cardboard crack at all. So the question is, the answer to your question is I haven't. Maxence Jamet asks, can you speak French? Oui, mon ami, I cannot. I cannot speak French. I took Spanish in school. I got, you know, straight B's, or like we had numerical grades. So 6 was the best, 1 was, you know, you failed. I got straight 5s for the first 4 years of Spanish, and then in the last year I managed to get a 6, the top grade. And I had an oral exam in Spanish, and I got another 6. So I used to be really good at Spanish. Now, not so much. Cabby HH asks, if you were able to design and add a card to the game, which card would it be, and what kind of ability would you choose for it? Like, I don't have like a complete design for you, but I do know what type of ability I would like. It would be a Skellige card, and I would like to make a card with like a really, really expensive Bloodthirst ability, like Bloodthirst 5 maybe, but then have like a special ability like this card's Bloodthirst is triggered by damaged allies as well. I think that would be really cool. Like just some savage dude who doesn't give a shit who's wounded, who he kills. So just like a really high Bloodthirst, but you can trigger it with self-wounding as well. I think that would be really cool. Aman Theon asks, who are your top 3 favorite characters in the Witcher world, excluding Geralt and Ciri? I'm gonna base this on, not on like Gwent card abilities, but actual like characterizations in the games. So I played a little bit of Witcher 3 and a little bit of Thronebreaker. And so my 3 favorite characters are Johnny, you know, just the little guy who takes a shit and says the funny words. I think he's really cute, really cool. Queen Maeve is a fucking badass. Like, holy shit. And I was so pumped for Gwent getting her as a leader in the game, because Queen Maeve is so much cooler than all those stupid kings. I love Maeve. And that vampire guy who Geralt wakes up and he asks, is it 1358 yet? No. Then fuck off. He's the best character. Like, I haven't found him in the game, but like, just, I love the memes. Sir Monty Bagger asks some really deep questions here. We've been going for 36 minutes. What are the biggest challenges you find, whether internal or external, as a content creator? That's the first one. The biggest challenge has to do with my mental health. Like if I'm, you know, feeling a little bit down, a little bit depressed, you know, I can't play Gwent, and I cannot record videos, and you know, it happens a bit too often, so it's kind of hard for me to find time to make the videos. Also, like because of my sensitivity to sound and also my anxiety, like I get really panicky when the woman living above us, whose house we're renting the basement apartment of her house, like when she's walking around and I hear like the stomping, and like that tiny old woman stomps really loudly. Like I just like I can't ignore it, so it's like and I get really panicky and anxiety. So yeah, the biggest challenge is finding moments of respite, you know, moments where I'm actually relaxed and feeling okay to make the videos. And that really sucks, but we are moving soon. Like we have to move by the end of May, So within the next couple of months, we're going to move. Hopefully we're going to find a place where I can relax, and I'll be able to more consistently just make videos and be more free in when I can do the videos. So things are going to get better, but right now things are actually pretty bad, but it's fine. It's not fine, but what can you do? Next question from Sir Monty Bagger. What is your opinion on the big exodus of content creators from Gwent as of late? Mogwai, Merchant, Swim, etc. And the perception of them possibly coming back. Do you feel the community holds unrealistic expectations of content creators, or do you understand some of the criticism? I used to watch Merchant a lot, and Mogwai quite a bit. And when they left, honestly, I was really upset, because back then I probably watched their videos more than I actually played the game. Because it's like, I got to enjoy the game. And they played cool, fun decks. They explained the thought process. I was always, following everything that was going on. So it was almost like playing, just without the pressure of actually playing. So when they left, I lost a big part of the whole Gwent experience. But I do understand why they lost. Why they lost? Did I say lost before? Why they left. I get why they left. Because Gwent went through some really weird phases. Not very good. And the initial release of Homecoming was, I enjoyed it, but now looking back, now that the game is so fantastic, looking back, it was pretty bad. So I totally understand. And like, these guys dedicated, whoa, that's a lot of people playing. These guys dedicated a lot of time and effort into the game, and then the game just took a turn, really messed itself up, and they left. So I understand why they left, but it was upsetting. The perception of them possibly coming back. As a viewer, I would love to see these guys come back. I mean, Swim is already kind of back, but I'm not a huge fan of Swim. Like, he makes good videos, but like, just, he's no Merchant, he's no Mogwai at all. But yeah, as a viewer and a player, I would love to have them back. As a content creator, I don't know if my channel could handle the extra competition, because like, they would come back and they would have all the viewers right away. And you know what? Honestly, I don't know if they deserve it. That's just not meant as hate towards them. It's just, they left when things were bad, which is totally understandable. It's fine. They wanted to try other things. Awesome. But I came in, and I worked through the bad stuff, and now I'm here where I am now. And I feel like I deserve to get the viewers that I want. Of course I do. No bias here. But yeah, I would love to have them back, but I don't know if they will. I do feel the community holds unrealistic expectations. Do I understand some of the criticism? Like, I understand where people are coming from, because like I said, I was upset as well, really upset actually. So I understand like people are upset and they, are kind of acting out on that. But generally, I do think people should just chill out. And if these people want to come back, we shouldn't give them shit. Just say welcome back. Gwent wants more players, and the more players we have, the more good content creators we have, the better the game is going to be. So, come back, Mogwai. Merchant is never coming back, but I feel like Mogwai, there's a little bit of hope there. Black the Outspoken. Is it worth it to stock up on the monster kegs for the Crimson Curse update? I don't know for 100% sure, but I don't think so. I don't think previously purchased kegs will be given the possibility of giving Crimson Curse cards. You know what I mean? Like, faction kegs that come out after Crimson Curse will definitely have Crimson Curse cards in them, but faction kegs that are bought now, I don't think they're going to implement Crimson Curse cards into those kegs. I don't know if kegs, like the contents of the keg, are predetermined when you buy it, but I don't think they're going to update already purchased kegs with new cards. So I wouldn't do that unless the developers specifically say that you will be able to get Crimson Curse cards in those kegs. Unless they say that, one of the devs confirm that, don't do it. How is married fiancé life? It's married life. Spouse reveal? No. Being married is great. I love it, and my wife is amazing. Like, because of my mental health, like I'm always, grumpy or sad or panicky or really, really pissed off. Like it affects her, it affects us, but like, we're both just hanging in there. We know it's gonna get better. We know that it has nothing to do with us as a couple. Like, we love each other and we respect each other and we just want to, live together. But, for me, living here is really hard. It's torture every day. And it becomes pretty bad for her as well. But we're hanging on. Any advice for the singles out there? No. I had 2 girlfriends before I met my wife, and those relationships were pretty garbage from the very beginning when I look back. And then I met my wife on Tinder, and it just worked out. It's just like a cool little saying that I've heard that actually was very true for me is that, when you meet a person, and, with a, romance in mind, if when you meet the person, like, you're all nervous and shaky and sweaty, that's a bad thing. And like, if you're completely relaxed, that means that is meant to be. I phrased that very poorly, but like that's the thing that's being said, and it's actually very true. I remember when I met my 2 exes, like, it took a while before I could even kind of relax around them, because obviously anxiety and stuff, but also I lacked experience. So like, I was nervous and I was uncomfortable. But when I met my wife, like from the moment we met, like, physically met up, like, I was comfortable around her right away. And she says the same thing. I was her first boyfriend, so she had no experience, but we were both just completely comfortable. And if you go on a date with someone and you both seem to experience this, then that's definitely worth trying to go forward with. But of course, like, if you are nervous and things are kind of awkward, that doesn't mean that it's gonna be a bad relationship. But like, if you are super comfortable and you have a great time, then that's a really, really good sign. That's, Does your significant other play Gwent, and what do they think of Gwent? She tried Gwent during open beta. I got her to try, and she thought it was cool, but it's not really her type of game. She's not really a card game player, or that much of a strategy, like just sit there and think and do math. Not really her thing. I heard a mailbox, and because of my anxiety, I cannot help but look. But yeah, like, she thinks Gwent seems cool, but it's not her type of game. What do you think of the Gwent's current meta? I think it's actually kind of bad. A lot of people are saying that it's one of the best we've had, and that it's got a lot of variety. I'm not seeing variety. I'm seeing Skellige and Gurnakora. Outside of those decks, though, like, those decks are maybe kind of overtuned, kind of cancery, but outside of that, there is a lot of cool stuff. I will say that. Who's your favorite Gwent streamer? Well, I only really watch... I don't watch streamers, but I do watch McBeard on YouTube, and he is a streamer as well. Not so much now, though. I think he's focusing more on YouTube, but yeah, like McBeard. What deck do you want to work, but does not, other than Heimdall? Nilfgaard Spies. Definitely. But we got a couple of cards revealed to us that makes me think that it might be better. You know, we got the new Gold Spy, but also we got a new Bronze Spy. It was revealed yesterday. And it's really, really cool, because she's like Duchess's informant or something. A 1-strength spy for 5. Jesus Christ, I shouldn't be drinking soda or energy drinks, because I get burpy. 5 provisions, 1-strength spy. Spawn and play a copy of a bronze enemy unit. It's a really cool ability, and it's really cool because, you know, if you use Operator to give yourself and your opponent an Imperial Enforcer, then you can just copy that Imperial Enforcer with these spies. And I think that's really cool. So now we have, you know, ways to get 2 more Enforcers going, and we have more spies. So I think that deck definitely holds up, or we'll be able to maybe actually have a shot with Crimson Curse. So I'm very excited. What is your process to choose decks in Gwent? Usually, like right after we get like a meta report or something, I try to play a couple of the tier 1 decks, just to, because I want to be able to do deck guides for those, because, you know, I know some of you guys want to actually win games, so I try to, you know, play a couple of the highly rated decks, get to know them, do a deck guide, and then you guys can try that out. Otherwise, I choose decks that have a little bit of flair, a little bit of something cool. Like, you know, if it's a Regis deck, yay, please. Yeah, like, just... My process to choose decks in Gwent is basically, if it's mid-range Morran, or something like that, then no. That is so boring. Point slam. Doesn't care about synergy. Screw that. But if it's got a little bit of flair, something spicy, something fun. Also, if it's made by Insomnia 228, I will play it. I guess that's also something I can say. We're almost at the end, and this video is only 50 minutes long. Mastodon Tool, Niklas von Riva. Has every competitive deck Roach and the 3 Witchers. Not all of them have Roach. Most do. But 3 Witchers, yes. But it was leaked in the stream yesterday on the Gwent Open tournament stream by Paul Berja. It was leaked that the Witcher trio, as well as Unicorn Chironax, are getting nerfed with Crimson Curse. And that is good. Like there are a lot of people who say that, oh, they're not problematic. Like, I don't care. I don't have a problem with them. Like, that's great. You know, that allows you to enjoy the game more. But the fact that these cards are neutral cards and they're in every single deck, that speaks for itself. Like, they are too good. If it's auto-include in every deck, every faction, it is too good. So they're gonna see a nerf. You know, like the Witchers, like, they should be more about just the consistency, because thinning by 2 is really good. So for combo decks and, you know, decks that have like expensive cards, and if you don't draw the expensive cards, that's a lot of provisions you're not seeing. So you want more consistency. Like, they'll play the Witchers. Like they should play the Witchers, and also Swarm decks, because you get 3 units, which is really good. But, you know, when mid-rangey decks that don't really care too much about it just play Witchers because it's 9 points, which is really good, and you draw your Unicorn and Chironax more consistently. Like, that is stupid. That is dumb. So, yeah. The answer is yes for the Witchers, mostly yes for Roach, but the Witchers are probably going to get nerfed, it seems, which is great. He also asks, did you read the books and played every Witcher game? Haven't read a single book. Played like the tutorial of Witcher 1 and 2. And a few hours of Witcher 3. But Witcher 3 I do want to play all the way through. That is it. We're done. It took less than an hour, which I am very happy about. And if I ramble too long, then we might not be as lucky. So, thanks again, guys, for all the amazing questions. I had a great time doing this. Been looking forward to it all weekend, and it was really fun. And hopefully my voice isn't too tired, because I do have to record some gameplay for you guys, of course. But yeah, thanks again for the great questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned some new things about me that you think is cool. Some cool new knowledge. And yeah, I hope to see you guys again very, very soon. This video is going to go up after today's gameplay video, but if you haven't checked out today's gameplay video, go do that. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye. Konnichiwa. Bye.